What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be looking at a Venomoth list that was originally submitted on the community Discord by user Lord Fate. It's a really interesting list, and he posted the original list. I've made some edits and alterations to make it a little bit more for myself and my own style and the way that I feel it runs the best. But his original list focuses on Venomoth and the Perplexing Powder attack for 1 grass energy, and it does 30 damage when you attack. Your opponent's active Pokemon becomes confused, and then they can't play any items from their hand. So then what we're doing is we're item locking our opponent with Venomoth, and then we're using Froslass to drop damage counters on all our opponent's Pokemon with abilities, which are most Pokemon in the game. So Froslass is just kind of stacking up damage counters, and then we're using Munkidori as well to just kind of add extra damage and kind of just affect our opponent through the item lock. We are running Rabsca in order to shield ourselves, since a lot of our Pokemon are very low HP. We want to be able to be safe from things like Dragapult, things like that. And our A-Spec of choice is going to be the Hyper Aroma, since we have a whole bunch of Stage 1s in the Venomoth and the Froslass. We want to be able to get out to those as soon as possible. The other thing is that we want to go first with this list, and so we want to make sure that we're using Carmine on our first turn as much as possible, since we really need to get into our Stage 1s and get all that stuff worked out as soon as possible. So we're using Carmine. Then from that point, we have Irida in order to find ourselves our Froslass, everything else that we're looking for, our Hyper Aromas, whatever else it is that we need. We also run the Legacy Energy. The main reason why we're running the Legacy Energy is because of the fact that it can function as our Dark Energies, or it can function as our Grass Energies, whichever one we need at the time, and it works out pretty well. We also run the TM Devolution, since a lot of times what we're able to do is stack up damage counters, but it may take a long time to knock out specific evolution Pokemon, so if we're able to use the de-evolution, then it's not really too much of a problem. For example, in the Dragapult matchup, it's much easier to just stack 90 damage onto a Dragapult through Froslass or through the Munkidori, or just like attacking with Venomoth, and then being able to de-evolution and drop them all down to Dragapults and knock them all out that way, rather than having to actually sit there and just attack with Venomoth, since it's much harder due to the fact that Dragapult doesn't have an ability, so it becomes much harder to knock it out. In that same vein, we also run Crushing Hammer, because some Pokemon, like Dragapult for example, they can't energy accelerate it very fast, but once they're there, obviously they're immune to Froslass, things like that. So we want to be able to delay them, pop their energies, make it a little bit harder for them to attack and get things done. Our stadium of choice is obviously Artazon, since it's the most useful. But yeah, I wanted to show off this list. I haven't seen anyone kind of cover any list like this, and it was I think it was a really cool list, really fascinating. So I was super excited to get to work on it, and so we kind of discussed it in the Discord a little bit as well on how to improve the list and any changes that were made. So yeah, be sure to join the community Discord if a list like this interests you. We drop lists and work together on them all the time, so be sure to look out for that. The list will be down in the description as well, and so we'll link to the Discord if you want the original list that they made themselves, and all the other lists, things like that. Be sure to join, and yeah, thank you guys for checking out the video. I will see you guys all in Game 1 in a moment. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in Game 1 in a moment. Peace. Alright, we're into Game number 1. We're going to be going first. Preferably with this deck, you want to be able to go first, so that way you can get all of your pieces on board, make it so you're able to evolve into Venomoth as quickly as possible. Obviously, we want to open a Venonat, but opening Snorunt isn't really that big a deal. We do have our Buddy Poffins, as well as a Nest Ball and an Artazon, as well as a Iono for the following turn. So we're going to be pretty well set up here. As long as we can get into like an Energy and a Venomoth on our following turn, we should be in a pretty good spot. So we shouldn't run into too many issues, rather, on our following turn. We will get to see what our matchup is momentarily. Okay, taking more than a moment. Sprigatito and Pidgey. Interesting. We do have the Switch, which is really nice for us. We can go double Venonat or Venonat here. I don't think I don't think we're gonna need the roller this game. I'm fairly confident. So we're gonna get out the Munkidori, and then what we can do is pass our turn, because we don't want to give them the Artazon to be able to use on their turn. So what we can do is place the Artazon down, get ourselves like one last Snorunt or whatever it is that we want to do, probably a Snorunt, and then what we'll be able to do from there is utilize our switch, bring our Venonat into the active. We can always drop the Crushing Hammer just to be able to do it, as well as then following up with Iono, unless we get ourselves into something else that we really want, but more often than not, we're probably going to Iono here. So we'll see what our opponent chooses to do. They do play down the Arven, which can get them a Evolution if they want to go for that. It can also get them into, okay, the Sealed Stone and Nest Ball. So what are they going to go Rotom? Yeah, so they're going to go Rotom, Seal Stone, and probably just Instant Charge. So it looks like they don't have too much going on. Grass Energy onto Sprig. And there's the Instant Charge for 3. So not too bad for us. We do get the Luminous Energy. That's pretty big. So we can drop Luminous onto Venonat. We can drop the Crushing Hammer. If we knock the energy off, fantastic. If we don't, not a big deal. Then what we can do is use our switch, bring Venonat into the active. We can drop down our Artazon. From here, what we'll do is grab ourselves one more Snorunt. Actually, we'll grab ourselves... We'll grab ourselves one more Munkidori. Then we can go Iono. We get one Froslass, which is nice, but it's not exactly what we were hoping for. We were really hoping to be able to get into something that would get us our Venonat. Unfortunately, we don't, but we do have a Dark Energy for the next turn. We are going to be able to start placing damage counters down. So, a little bit unfortunate. We do have the Iono for the following turn, though. If our... What we're really hoping for is that our Venonat does not get knocked out here. Obviously, we can't really... We can't bank on our Venonat not getting knocked out here. But obviously, that would be greatly preferred. Okay, there's the Evolution. That makes us feel a lot better. There's an Iono. We can get ourselves a new hand. That's much better for us. Since we already have like the energies enabled for us, it's actually not that bad. They are gonna go double colorless onto the Sprigatito. We'll see what they choose to do. We can go Venonat. Obviously, they go Evolution. That can get them a barrel. And I don't remember what the middle stage is. It's like Mousetrix or something? What's the middle stage of this thing called? They don't have it. That's ginormous. So what we can do here is we can place down the Venonat. We can actually use the Ultra Ball to get rid of the Pokégear and the Snorunt. Grab ourselves one more Froslass. And then from here, what we can actually do is go Earthen Vessel. Discard the Grass Energy. Grab ourselves one Dark. Since we're about to use Carmine, so we don't want to discard the extra Dark, but we can place this down onto the Munkidori. We can go Carmine. Fantastic. We can go Crushing Hammer. We missed that one too. A little bit unfortunate, but not the biggest deal in the world. We can go place down our Venonat. We'll use Munkidori. We'll place... doesn't matter because they're not going to be able to play rare candies anyway. But we'll start stacking damage onto this one. And then we can go 30 damage onto the Sprigatito. And there we go. We can start stacking up Frozen Shard damage. Pretty quickly now. We have the Legacy Energy to place onto this Munkidori as well. And then once we have that, we're pretty much... like, the game is more or less over from here. There's not much we have to worry about. Obviously, it can be annoying, like, if we get bossed up. But everything... yeah, so, like we just saw. But everything is a single energy, so we can just place down the Luminous to be able to retreat with. They go instant charge. Again, doesn't really matter to us all that much. We get a boss's orders of our own. So we can give up the Luminous Energy here. Obviously not the most ideal of what we'd want, but we can just bring our Venomoth back into the active. We can even choose to boss up something else. Yeah, they know they're stuck. So that's going to be game one. Once we have that setup done, like, we're item locking them, we're dropping damage, we're going to be moving things around, so that, like, once we're kind of set up, there's very little that our opponent can do if they as long as they don't already have something of value, just, like, completely already in the active, that will kind of give us some problems. But that's going to be game one, guys. We'll jump into game two in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2. We won the coin flip again, so we're going to be going first. We actually open really, really well here. Provided we can get into an energy on our top deck, we're in an awesome spot since we can Irida and really get a lot of value off that. So if we can get into an energy, we're in an awesome spot for our following turn. We do get the counter catcher. We'll go Nest Ball here. That will grab us. We'll get one more Venonat for now. And we can pass our turn. Again, we're really just hoping for a Grass or a Luminous Energy off our top deck. Since if we go Irida, we can grab ourselves our Hyper Aroma. And that would be huge. To be able to start, like, operating off of. If not, we could always Iono. Which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Which, actually, now is probably what we're going to end up doing, because they're going to want to discard one Archeops with Ride the Wind. Draw themselves the cards, meaning they probably already... we know they already have the other Archeops in hand. So, unfortunately, we can't Irida here. So, we're going to Nest Ball, get ourselves out one more Snorunt. And we're going to Irida away their Lugia V and the Archeops, put them at the bottom of the deck. We get our Hyper Aroma and our Luminous... wow, that went so well for us. Okay, pretty hype, actually. We kind of got just what we were looking for. So we'll grab ourselves another Froslass. We'll grab ourselves our Venomoth. We'll evolve. Place our other Venomoth down. Place the Perplexing Powder down. And though we won't be able to get past the Mist Energy right now, not really that big of a deal because of they shouldn't be able to place items. Which means if they can't place items, there's really nothing they can do. Since that's the only way that they're going to be able to get, like, another Archeops into the discard pile, find their pieces. So even if we don't confuse the Lugia, it doesn't really matter. Yep, and that's going to be the game. If we can get that attack off before they have their Archeops and stuff like that in the discard, there's really nothing they can do, and the matchup becomes super, super easy. Since, again, we don't care, even if they have the Miss Energy, we don't really care about the confusion part. We just care about the fact that they can't place items. So that means no capturing aromas, no Ultra Balls, no anything. There's no real way to find their pieces, which Lugia really needs all of those items to really come to fruition. So that's going to be a quick number 2 on, well, for a quick game 2, I guess, is the best way to say that. But yeah, we'll jump into a game 3 in a moment, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3. We open potentially really good again. Our opponent's going to mulligan. It looks like they're playing Dracopult, which is good. We already have the God, why am I so bad at saying this? Rabsca? Rabsca, right? That's what it's supposed to say? Rabsca? I think that's it. Whatever. We do have the Buddy Poffin. We do have the Irida. We have our Luminous Energies already kind of established, which means we will be able to get ourselves another Venonat, which is going to be pretty important, especially due to the fact that... Ooh, I thought they were playing Dracopult, but they're not. That is interesting. And potentially really good for us. So we can go Snorunt here. Crushing Hammer. We do hit. Get rid of the energy on the Mimikyu. Not really that dramatically important, but it is kind of nice. We can grab ourselves Snorunt and another Venonat, since we don't really care about this anymore since they're not playing Dracopult. Then what we can do here is go Irida. We can grab ourselves one more Snorunt. And then what I'm going to do is grab the Capturing Aroma for the following turn. And I don't think... I'm fairly confident that Venonat will live the next turn. So I'm going to place the Luminous Energy down and pass my turn. I'm not going to use the Hyper Aroma yet, since filling my hand with all the pieces is not great. Realistically, they're going to probably want to Iono it out of my hand. That's like the downside of adding cards to your hand for like the future turns, but I kind of just have to run the risk temporarily right now. There's the Arven that can get them the switch. We will survive the next attack. There's the switch. Oh, and they are going Evolution. There's the Hero's Cape. Okay, they're just using Evolution to get it out of the hand. Alright, so we were knocked out, unfortunately. Not the biggest deal in the world. We can bring in our new Venomoth. We can place the Luminous Energy down. We'll go Hyper Aroma, which will get us our 2 Froslass and our Venomoth. We can go 1. Controls. Thank you. 2 and 3. Bring our Venomoth into play. Pokégear. We find the Carmine, which we can use. Go ahead and play that down. We get ourselves a Buddy Poffin for another Venomoth, or Venonat rather. So we can play that down. And then what we can do is Nest Ball. Grab ourselves a Munkidori. And then wait, what? I don't understand. Why would this... Oh, I'm an idiot. It's not. It's coming from the Dazzling Gleam. So... we're going to retreat here. And we'll place one Froslass. Actually, let's be smart about this. We can pass our turn. Leave Venonat in the active. We can Frozen Shard. Stack up the damage. We can allow this Venonat to get knocked out. Then we'll... Alright. We gotta play here. I kind of completely forgot what Espathra does for a second. So there's the Frozen Shard. We'll be able to draw. We're gonna put the dark energy down. We're gonna move the damage off. Knock out one of the Flittle. Take a prize. We got ourselves a Grass Energy. Not that that really matters. We can go ahead and pass. We'll accept the damage. So then what we'll be able to do on the next turn, take one more prize. What we'll be able to do on our following turn is we can go into Venomoth, attach, and go De-Evolution, and knock out the Espathra that way. There's Tulip. That can pick them up. The Psychic Energy. Oh, they picked everything up. We will get the knockout on the Xatu on the following turn. Okay, that's even better. So now, what the plan is, we'll bring Munkidori into the active. Let the damage ride. We'll take one more prize. We do have a Crushing Hammer, I guess. Cool. We'll play it down, why not? We do hit. And then the question I have, I can't, alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. Boss's orders, pull this into the active, because I can't remember if De-Evolution was gonna cost, like how many energy the De-Evolution was gonna cost me. So now what I can do is I can place the damage counters down. I'll place an energy, go De-Evolution, and that would knock out both Espathras, and then the Xatu was going to be pretty easy to KO. So that was a pretty quick game 3 as well, so we'll do one more. But you can kind of see just how powerful it is, like when you can just rack up multiple Froslass. Like, it's actually just crazy powerful, and like, yeah, it's just kind of nuts. The best way to describe it is that once you have 3 Froslass down, you have the ability to move damage with Munkidori. You have the ability to utilize the item locks, and then even things like De-Evolution. Since you don't do a lot of upfront damage, you need to utilize De-Evolution to like take out those higher HP cards. So like even in the Dragapult matchup, you're really only, if they use a rare candy, then you only need to hit like 70 damage. But if they evolve themselves into Dracolock, you only need to hit a 90 damage like threshold, and then you can just drop multiple, like you can drop De-Evolution and take huge knockouts. So it's super big, so definitely would recommend it. We'll jump into game 4 in a second here, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game 4, right? I think so. Yeah, game 4. And we'll lead Munkidori. We have Snorunt. We are going first. We will be able to Nest Ball ourselves out a Venonat. We'll see what our opponent's playing momentarily. It is Gardevoir. Gardevoir is kind of an interesting matchup. This is a situation where we don't really... Alright, cool. We got the Carmine. We're going to end up using it since the Crushing Hammers aren't as relevant. For this matchup, we will see how many Froslass do we have in our deck. We do have the 2. Yeah, so we have good enough pieces. We can go ahead and Carmine here. Even if it means we lose out on the Irida, it's worth it. We ended up getting into another one anyway. Do we want to Ultra Ball? I think the answer is no. No. So we can pass. We will have the ability to Irida in order to get all of our pieces. Which, what we'll end up probably doing is, depending on what our top deck is, we can always go for Irida for another Froslass, evolve that way, and then use our item for the turn in order to get something like a... like an Earthen Vessel. In order to just get the energies, we can place it down on a Munkidori. If we get something like a basic or whatever that we want, we can always retreat. We can, if we top deck into, yeah, like if we top deck into something a little bit more useful, we can always go that way. It all just depends what we get ourselves into. They are gonna go Evolution to get into Kirlia. We're not really too worried about that, obviously. There's a boss's orders, so not super relevant. We do have the option here, and it's kind of a little bit more of a greedy play, but it's the one we're going to make. We're going to go ahead and Ultra Ball these away. Guarantee ourselves the Venomoth. Place that down. Then go ahead and Carmine, which does work in our favor. We can go ahead and switch. We can Perplexing Powder. Get the Confusion, get the item lock, start dropping damage counters with at least one Froslass for now. And we do have the Dark Energy on our following turn, in order to start using Munkidori as well to kind of help shore up some KOs. So there is the Arven, which will get them an item they can't use and a tool card, so they could get themselves a Bravery Charm. They do go Unfair Stamp, but they cannot use it. They do get themselves Evolution, which they would be able to use, but they hit themselves in Confusion, which is huge. There's the Frozen Shard. The Confusion element, yeah, so that's going to be another one. The Confusion element of Venonat's attack just makes it so good, because like in clutch situations like that, it's like, sure, if they were able to flip heads Obviously, that wouldn't have been fantastic because they could get themselves into Gardevoir, but like there's ways around like what we'll be able to do in those types of situations. And obviously, the Drifloon would have been KO'd there pretty much no matter what. So it's a weird situation, but obviously, like without any form of context, it's like obviously them getting confused is a major benefit there. But that's going to be game 4, guys. Kind of 3 shorter ones, but hopefully it shows just how powerful this deck can be if you're able to set up early. And I think it's really, really creative. I haven't really seen anything like it as of right now, so I really wanted to give it a shout. If you're interested in the deck list, be sure to join the Discord. Give Lord Fate a shout out. He did an incredible job coming up with the concept for this, and his original deck list was super cool as well. So yeah, definitely huge shout out to him. This is something that I want to do a little bit more in the future, is kind of feature some of the Discord deck lists and things like that. So be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel. I did get a request for Regidrago, so I'm going to be working on that upcoming. Just that's a deck that I'm very, very unexperienced with. So in order to give you guys actual fair content on it, I want to just practice with the deck a little bit more and kind of refine the list a little bit better before I make some content on it, so that way I know what I'm talking about when I'm playing. But yeah, that's going to be the games for the day, guys. Definitely let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.